trying to highlight the nose, not illuminate the schnauzer. I'm going to dinner and drinks with another girl in the sports biz, and so this is actually networking, trying to meet more new people, which is like the whole point of being here in New York. So let's get ready for dinner and drinks that we're going to write off. I've been sick this week. I gotta cover up some redness from blowing my nose. I got sick because it kept going hot, cold, hot, cold, hot, cold. Or it's just the fact that my social calendar has not slowed down at all and my body cannot keep up. That's probably one of the biggest adjustments since moving to New York, is that there is quite literally something to do every single freaking night, and you have to learn how to say no. Oh, which I have not. Figuring out a new balance between my social life and my work schedule, like finding a new routine, is going to be one of the biggest challenges. I've officially been here in New York for 3 weeks, and people always, when I tell them I'm from Kansas City, are like, oh my gosh, like it must be such an adjustment. 100%, it is an adjustment, but it's nothing that I wasn't expecting. It's nothing that's been, blowing my mind. It's exactly what I anticipated. It's a big city. You're a very small person in a very large city, and life is in hustle mode 24/7. I think people also forget that I didn't live in Kansas City all my life. Yeah, I lived there from 2019 until most recently, but before that I was out in Oregon, before that I was in Memphis, before that I was in Nashville. All very different than New York City, but it's not like I've only been living in KC my entire life. I like uprooting and moving. Can't talk when I'm doing that. A lot of you guys know that my dad's a football coach. We moved around all the time growing up to take, different jobs in new cities and new places, and I truly enjoyed moving around. When I moved to college, that was my 10th move. So to me, it's just kind of second nature. I like going to new places and starting over. Before you pop in there and say it's some kind of trauma response because I'm running from different things, I've gone over that in therapy. I just like new adventures. I also just love to explore new places. I always told my parents growing up, just tell me where my bed's at and I will be happy. Also trust the process. I think the biggest differences are those that you would assume. I take the subway everywhere. It's kind of hard to haul around your groceries because you're not putting them into a car. So I got a little wagon cart that I haul around. I feel absolutely ridiculous doing so, but it is what it is. And if you stay in your lane, mind your own business, and walk quickly, everyone's nice to you. Let me rephrase. New Yorkers aren't necessarily nice, but they're kind. They just cut a lot of the BS out of it. Like, they're not gonna ask you how your day is, because genuinely, they don't care. And a lot of us, when we're like, oh my God, how are you? It's not like we actually care to get to know how they are. It's just like one of those things you say in passing. They just kind of cut around that stuff, which honestly is fine. It keeps the pace moving. There will always be things that I miss about home, but there are also a lot of good things that I really enjoy here. The good thing is I'm just a few minutes away from Central Park, so I get my nature fix there. All I do is quite literally just walk myself to the left and I arrive. That park literally goes on and on forever. I swear you can explore a new spot of Central Park quite literally every day. I will say dating in New York is just too soon to tell. I haven't been here long enough to really get a gauge on that. A lot of girlies online say it is horrible, but hasn't been my experience. Again, I'm in the honeymoon stage. I've been here 3 weeks. Give me some time. A lot of people still ask me why I moved to New York, and this is absolutely no shade on Kansas City. I love KC. I will always love KC, but there is just more opportunity here, and I was also looking to live in a bigger city with a little more hustle and bustle going on. Also, a lot of women who are like me here, who are in their 30s, still single, very career driven. Not to say that they're not in Kansas City, I'm just saying that there is more opportunity not only in the world of sports for me here in New York, but also socially finding people who are like-minded. Before anyone takes that as a knock on people who choose to get married younger or who are married and a mom and still kicking it at their career, that's awesome. 3 of my best friends are all married and all have great careers, and some of them even moms as well. I'm just saying that this was a good move for me personally for where I'm at in life. And truthfully, the best thing about that scenario is, hey, if it doesn't work out here, I can always come home. I like my home. I like my friends there. I like the people that I was surrounded by and, near. So worst comes to worst, if the opportunities and life doesn't work out as I think it's going to here in New York, then I can easily go back to KC. I think it's just really fun to try new things in life, and this is where I felt led. The thing I miss the most is definitely my parents' dog. I love that freaking thing, and not being able to see him hasn't been fun. And then obviously my friends. It's been hard, and we text and voice memo and talk to each other every single day, but it's definitely hard, like not going to the gym with each other, not seeing each other for girls' nights or drinks or dinner. And truthfully, it's just been great how supportive everyone has been of this move. I'm trying to think of other things that people ask me. Oh, that's too much. I recently had someone DM me and say, have you had any plastic surgery done? No, I have not had plastic. Number one, if I was going to get plastic surgery, that would be fixed. Number two, those would be bigger. And I'm very open and honest about anything that I've had done. I've gotten Dysport done. I show you guys all the facials, everything I do behind the scenes, but plastic surgery is not one. The first time I ever went under anesthesia was for my colonoscopy like a couple months ago. Listen, I'm an open book, so if I got something done, you would know. Anybody else a millennial? Do you know what that's from? My makeup is pretty much e.l.f. I use all drugstore makeup. I've been wearing this same mascara since I was in, I want to say, 12th grade or something, or maybe even 11th grade, I don't know, probably sooner. But I put myself through school, and in college I was working multiple jobs to be able to do so, and so I always needed to make sure that my makeup was something that I could afford. Well, if you know what the TV business is like, when I started in the TV world, I think I made a whopping $30,000 in my first salary. Obviously had to put on makeup every single day, so I found a ton of drugstore dupes that would fit my budget but also be able to look nice and presentable. And I've always continued to do so because if it ain't broke, why fix it? Done.